Hello, air signs, and welcome to your daily focus tarot for Thursday. So, the first two cards that came out were Seven of Cups and the Hangman. So, like I usually say, the Seven of Cups, to me, this reads as greediness. Because we have the dragon guarding the cups, most people tend to think of it as like unrealistic desires in terms of like your personal values. Like you're hiding who you truly are and what you truly want sometimes, if you know what I'm saying. And the clarifier was the Six of Pentacles. So Six of Pentacles, it can talk about balancing between giving and receiving, male and female sides. It can also talk about like receiving gifts, having a patronage, somebody who sponsors you. So to me, this is, it's talking about maybe looking at what your values are and figuring out what you can do to change them in terms of making them align more with, I don't think it was you. I think it was somebody else yesterday where I was talking about overwork, and I was getting the sense of overworking. I think it was water signs. So you could be overworking because your values aren't quite in the right place. Like they're not, you're not looking at them from the right perspective. Hopefully that makes sense. So you're looking at them like what you should value is your pentacles more than your cups. So valuing stuff in the world more than valuing your relationships or your spiritual growth or being able to handle your emotions in a positive way. Like you're struggling with that balance. Okay. And the Hangman in reverse. Now the Hangman, when he's upright, he's supposed to be upside down. All the blood is flowing to his head. And he is Odin. He's the number 4, so he has that in common with the Lord and the Emperor. And he is basically, Odin hanging from the tree of knowledge, trying to get information on how to communicate, on how to have a language, how to develop the rune system. So he's sacrificed himself by tying himself up. And this card, it doesn't really quite mention how he's tying it up. The Druidcraft does a better job of it. Because here he just looks like, maybe he's having fun. He's hanging by one ankle and he's not really bound. He's got like the double 4 in his legs, and then he's got like the 4 with his arm, and then he's got this this sun shining through, this creativity, this halo behind his head. That's a double halo. The Druidcraft does a little bit better with saying it's more of a sacrifice for him to do this, to hang like this. So when it's in the reverse like this, this is talking about, a delay, an inability to surrender, like you're denying parts of yourself or you're lacking self-awareness. This can be a delusion or a missed opportunity also. But to me, with the 7 of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles, it is like you're not admitting something to yourself. You're not coming up with the words to say it to yourself. You don't have the language maybe to say it to yourself, since Odin was sacrificing himself, tying himself up to the tree to learn language, to learn the way to communicate. When I asked for clarifiers, I got the Prince of Cups and the Prince of Swords. And Prince of Cups is talking about, not stalking, don't know why I started to say that. He is talking about inspiration, charm. He's quite idealistic, quite romantic. He is basically standing still, holding his cup up to the beautiful moonlight and the sunrise at the same time. He's in between worlds. And this is also a lot of wishful thinking to me, right? So you're not, you're stagnant. You don't know where you're going. You don't have the language for it. And you're in between worlds. And the Prince of Swords is talking about he's stubborn, overbearing, exploring. He talks about exploring other options. It can talk about if you're making a radical change in your lifestyle, new friends may appear, or a whole new life may open up for you. So he's very fast acting. He's very offensive. And that's exactly the opposite of the Hangman in this. So to me, that is, with this Prince of Swords, that is talking about the need to change your lifestyle, to make some changes, to do something different and get this balance that you need. Get this movement forward and get out of the stagnation, right? At the bottom of the Ethereal Visions, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So she is all about being like a mother, being abundant, being generous and kind. Six of Swords, talking about sailing into a more stable life, leaving all the turmoil, leaving possibly gossip, people who don't have your back behind you, moving on towards something that's calmer waters, that's more stable ground, that's sunnier skies, and leaving all the storms and turmoil behind. Under that, we have the Fool, which is the new beginning. It's the start. It's number 0. It's knocking on the door, opening that door, and saying, yes, I'd like to come in. And the Emperor, which is number 4, and is talking about knowledge. He's the Lord in the Druidcraft, so he is in control. He's stable. He turns the chaos of your life, the stormy weather, and the Six of Swords into the calmness. And he does that. He turns the stability in by taking a look at what's going on, structuring things really well, like coming up with routines, coming up with ways. If you're having trouble saying no to stuff, you should work on coming up with a way to say no to stuff. Something that you're comfortable doing. Something, if the no has to be to people, like inviting you to parties or something like that, and you don't want to go to the parties, find a reason why you can't go that doesn't hurt the person, but it also lets you get out of that obligation. If there's something in terms of you're overspending because you always wind up thinking you have more in your account than you do at the end of the month, this would be coming up with something like a budget for each paycheck, or for a monthly budget, maybe even a weekly budget in some cases. And this is going to help lead you to that new start and to that abundance. It's going to help lead you out of the waters. And at the bottom of the Druidcraft, we also had Six of Swords. Now you'll notice the difference between these two versions of Six of Swords, like every deck is a little bit different. So this one we have reed in it, and the reed is talking about, you know, you throw a pebble into the water, and the circle that's affected, it expands and it grows bigger. And this is the Hermit here. But you'll notice it also looks like it could be this person here, or even this person here, because of the robes, because of these colored out gray robes. But to me, this is always the Hermit. This is your internal, your higher self, guiding you, using the wand, using the spirituality, using the higher knowledge, and guiding you towards a better place. And here there's two people in the boat, whereas here there's only one. So something to think about, you know, if you're looking for a relationship, or the relationship you're in isn't working out, if it isn't for your highest good, you may need to take that new start. To me, this is more about finances than relationships. It's more about the balance between the give and take, and being realistic in what you have to offer and what you can't offer. But that could be, you know, like I said, it could be in a relationship, it could be at a job. But I get that it's more like personal finance. It's more like where you want to go. Like, do you really want a house, or are you buying a house just because other people are telling you to? Do you want a new car, or is it okay to keep driving the car that you have, because then you don't have a payment, and the car that you have is, you know, it still runs. So why get a new one? Why put yourself through a payment when you don't have to? That balance is necessary. Just because people can be telling you you should get the brand new house, you should get a car, doesn't mean you have to. People who are telling you you have to be in a relationship, no, you don't. You don't. If you're not ready, if it's not healthy for you, then, you know, don't get into a relationship until you feel you're ready, until you're healthy, until you're good on your own. Then you can start looking if you want, but to be honest, you don't even have to look. It'll happen, right? And it'll happen when the timing is right. If you're in the bad relationship, then getting out of it is always a good idea. Have a better Thursday. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Bye.